We all know Mario Kart Wii's logo looks like this, but in beta development of the game, it used to look like this, heavily resembling Mario Kart DS's logo design. Also in pre-release of the game, footage shown at E3 in 2007 displayed a HUD and item roulette that looked much different from its final version. Some early concept art gives us additional information. A sketch can be seen of a version of Dry Dry Ruins that looks completely different from the final Dry Dry Ruins, featuring weird thwomp-like Miis. Another drawing shows there was originally planned to be a blooper hot air balloon to accompany the Cheep Cheep blimp on Luigi Circuit. That same blimp seen in-game oddly lands briefly on the island in the middle of the track occasionally. More early concept art can also be seen featuring vehicles that would inevitably be scrapped early in development. Many vehicles such as the off-roader also looked much different, with this kart having slightly different colors and its iconic flag missing. Speaking of the off-roader, the kart, despite its name suggesting so, doesn't even have a great off-road stat, with 13 other vehicles in the game beating it out in off-road. In fact, the kart's off-road capability is the exact same as the standard bike S. The Bullet bike also had an early design slightly different from its final version. You can catch a glimpse of it as one of the vehicles driving across your screen when choosing your engine class. The Bullet bike is also the only vehicle in the game that is missing a character emblem. Many know inside drift is far superior to outside drift in Mario Kart Wii. In fact, the Jet Bubble is the only inside drifting vehicle in the entire game's history to have never held a world record. Enough about vehicles though, onto the characters. Rosalina is the only character that can be unlocked through owning another game on your Wii, as having a file of Super Mario Galaxy will unlock her. Additionally, Rosalina was designed in that game to be very tall, about 7'3", taller than 99.5% of the NBA. This is because Mario Kart Wii producer Hideki Kono needed her as an additional heavyweight character in the game. Side note, the credits of the game actually misspelled Rosalina's voice actor's first name. There are official Mario Kart Wii trading cards that released in 2009 following the game's success. One of them features Baby Peach, and its description explains the lore for how she got added as a character, stating, "This is a classic example of what happens when you wander too close to the Mario Kart pits. They turn you into a driver." Additionally, Baby Peach's signature kart, the Booster Seat, is the only vehicle in the entire mainland Mario Kart series to ever feature a roof. Fan favorite Luigi is the only character who can be heard thanking Lakitu for saving him after going out of bounds. Apparently no one else was taught manners. Speaking of Lakitu, he can actually be crushed by a thwomp if positioned correctly facing backwards. And I've mentioned this in a video before, but Donkey Kong has mouth on his feet. Yeah. Another weird character is the Mii, being the only racer that stares directly at you after completing a race. The Miis in the crowds of tracks also have weird features. Their heads behave quite strangely based on how your character moves, as they are trained to follow your view. They also change appearance from when you first see them in the race, as looking over the replay of the exact same match shows completely different Miis from before. Many linguistic and regional differences exist between versions of Mario Kart Wii. Specifically in the German version of the game, the track roulette screen seen in online play features the text "Das Roulette entscheidet," which translates to "the roulette is deciding." This text is not present in any other language. An early promotional list of items in Mario Kart Wii shown before the game's release actually included the Boo item, meaning it must have been inevitably scrapped. There's many more features in Mario Kart Wii that were made in development of the game but went unused. Versions of tracks exist in the files, such as this Mario Circuit that looks very obviously incomplete, as well as a course meant for the scrapped mission mode, Galaxy Coliseum. There are other unused tournament mode mechanics too, such as this game mode where you get points by chasing CPUs down and hitting them with items. The tournament mode was also meant to feature a special item box intended for a challenge on GBA Shy Guy Beach. This box was designed to travel across and under the track, only surfacing briefly every 2 minutes, but guaranteeing a 95% chance of receiving a star, and 5% chance of receiving a mushroom. This type of special item box with different probabilities than normal item boxes actually exists in the final version of the game on the Battle Course Chain Chomp wheel, with the 3 item boxes in the middle of the roulette table giving you the same item probabilities. Shy Guy Beach also has a couple unused opening scenes, with one basically just staring down a tree. There's more of these unused camera perspectives on Luigi Circuit, as well as GCN Waluigi Stadium, which even has an unused camera angle in replay mode that resembles an eagle's view being high up in the sky. There are scrapped course objects too, such as this one named Flame Pull EFF, as well as an unused angry sound effect thwomps would make after getting hit by a player's item. Additionally, the Mushroom Gorge mushroom pads have unused movement mechanics that sway the mushroom back and forth, as well as one that hilariously bounces the cap off its stem, which would have made the track far crazier than what we got in the end. On Moo Moo Meadows, the Moo Moo cows have an unused running animation seen here. An unused shell type also exists that doubles the size of normal red and green shells. Luigi Circuit features two versions of the track, the normal playable daytime setting, and the sunset setting, seen in the ending credits to the game where CPUs are observed driving the course. At the end of the credits, the scene fades away, but using game tools, we see what happens off-screen with the CPUs, as they quickly turn around and bonk into the wall. An official Prima guide to Mario Kart Wii exists that is known for its misleading information, suggesting certain interesting lore for some characters. It also promotes teaming in races, a questionable suggestion. The guide features maps of tracks in the game too, and interestingly shows an extra non-existent item box set on Mushroom Gorge. These item boxes can actually be seen in one of the ending credits scenes, meaning it must have gotten removed before official release. On to more track-related facts. Some Coconut Mall Piantas point at the escalator that is currently going up, a helpful feature many players often forget. Speaking of, a single Pianta can be seen running the Coco Burger stand near the exit to the mall, but there was originally meant to be 3. This area also has a missing texture on the railing a bit further up, as well as a collision box on the nearby stairs that are slightly off. GCN Mario Circuit has a texturing error too, at the underpass section with the grass that it meets. DK Summit oddly has an item box set far below the map, completely inaccessible to racers. Luigi Circuit also has one item box hidden below in the ending version of the track. Above and often unnoticed on DK Summit, the track's skybox goes from cloudy in the start of the race to clear towards the end of the race. Moonview Highway also has things hidden under its surface, with multiple tires that can be observed floating below. The vehicles above also float off the ground briefly in the section before the bridge. You can also bounce off the top of the cargo trucks on this track. There's also an unused Wario banner in the files of the game, which is just slightly darker than the final version. I didn't lie, these facts really are useless. A similar case is on Koopa Cape, where flags on the distant giant green shell wouldn't make the final cut of the game. On GCN Peach Beach, an unused blue cataquack was sadly not included in the track. Dry Ruins has a completely invisible cactus that hurts the player when touched. Also on the track, a super weird behavior with the CPUs can be observed by knocking them against this wall here. The CPU seems to get confused, turning around and slowly driving backwards for a while before resuming the race. Sometimes they even just decide to manually respawn. This behavior can also be seen with the giant green pipe before the end of the course N64 Mario Raceway. Furthermore, this track's brick wall has an invisible wall above it designed to prevent players from somehow hopping over, but it oddly extends further past than what the wall goes. The walls on SNES Ghost Valley 2 have some weird properties, as they will shake you off if you try to stay on top of them. Spooky, right? And the umbrellas seen on DS Yoshi Falls can actually be tricked off of. The effects of this boost panel on N64 Sherbet Land extends well past what it looks to be. Contrary to popular belief, the track with the most item boxes isn't GBA Bowser Castle 3, which only has 29 item boxes. In fact, many other tracks have way more. The actual track with the most boxes is Bowser Castle Wii, at a whopping 39 item boxes. On a similar note, GCN Waluigi Stadium has a mistaken duplicated item box near the beginning of the track. While we're talking about Waluigi Stadium, further on in that track, lightweight vehicles often struggle with an unusual out-of-bounds area hit above when tricking. The finish line on DS Desert Hills doesn't even accurately mark where the race ends, as you can clearly go past it without yet triggering the end of the race on lap 3. Additionally, GCN DK Mountain has signs that are super hard to spot, being mostly blocked by foliage, leading us to wonder why they are even added at all. Thrown red shells will oddly bounce off the sliding thwomps in N64 Bowser's Castle, rather than cracking like normal. Also on this track is an unused directional arrow texture that was most likely meant to be on the wall at the last turn of the track, as a similar design can be seen on the original Mario Kart 64 version. The battle track Funky Stadium actually has a skybox hidden above the roof of the course. Chain Chomp Roulette has more disabled item boxes. Finally, on the battle course Delfino Pier, there was actually originally meant to be a course object called Venice Gondola, which would have been a traditional Italian rowing boat with a Pianta manning it. What you're seeing here is a custom creation by AtlasOmegaAlpha of what it probably would have looked like. It's honestly so tragic they scrapped this. It just looks so awesome. Thanks for watching this video. I wanted to give a huge shout out to B-Squo for their incredible documentation of much of what I covered in this video. Their YouTube channel and Twitter page showcases so much obscure yet interesting Mario Kart information, so please check them out, as I'll link them and any other sources in the description below. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all around.